Hello, everybody.
It's so wonderful to see you, Susan. I'm so excited to speak with you. Why don't you just introduce yourself in case anyone doesn't know who you are?
Thank you for having me, Celeste. I'm Susan Lynn. I'm a spirit navigator. I'm a psychic medium. I do predict politics on YouTube, and I also have a channel where I do spiritual videos, teach you how to connect with your spirit guides and grow your soul, right? I'm happy to be here with Celeste. She has done many readings for me. Dear friend, super amazing astrologer.
Ah, thank you so much, Susan. And Susan is incredible, an incredible psychic who on the money, on the point. Yes. So did you feel the energy shift, Susan, over the last day?
I did. I did.
Uh,
Actually, for me, I think because I'm a Virgo, I have this a little bit mutable. I think it was better for me, maybe. I don't know. But Sunday was rough. I was like, oh. And then today it was like, oh, I can do this. I think I can do this. I can do it. So fascinating. I just love astrology because I feel the energy of it, but I don't understand the astrology. But whenever I talk with you, I'm like, oh, that makes sense. The energy always matches what the astrology is doing.
Yes, and I was trying to count some money on Saturday, and I kept having to start over. I like Neptune at that last degree of Pisces was just so like a little confusing, and then now we've got it in Aries. So all the mutable people, whether you have a couple of planets in, or your sun, moon, or rising in any of the mutable signs, which are Gemini, Virgo, Pisces, and Sagittarius, I think you could be having a little party because it's been since 2011 that the planet Neptune moved into this sign where it can really do what it does with ease, which has so many beautiful aspects to it, but it also can be a little bit much confusion and feeling a little bit at sea. So do you remember any big events from 2011? When Neptune went into Pisces about changing your life.
I do. I feel like I did. I feel like I took a major new direction. Again, energetically, you just feel like you have the energy to do it, or you just feel like you're ready to do it.
Mhm.
But astrology explains the energy.
And what are you feeling now?
It feels like I went into a different dimension or something. I got more done today, literally, than I did all last week. So I don't know what that is about, but I'm here for it. I'm
Yeah.
here for it.
Yes. I'm glad your power didn't go out either.
Sorry, everybody. I've seen the pictures of the ice storm. My God. Oh, destruction. Nashville. Wow. Mississippi. States that don't have that kind of ice.
I'm really concerned about this storm. We'll see how it is in the next couple of days. I've also seen people with their dogs who don't want to come in the house, like the huskies and stuff. There's some really cute pictures on Instagram of people and their dogs having fun in the snow. So what is on your mind, Susan, about what's going on politically or anything right now? I mean, the big story of this weekend we can talk about what's going on in Minnesota. Good news, that little pint-sized Nazi was given the boot, Greg Bovino. Yeah, so that's one good thing because of the responses.
And that didn't happen without the pressure. Like that, this administration doesn't bow down to pressure. So I also think, I don't know if you saw it, but there were, and I don't know how many, but let's just say over 20 or 30 big corporations wrote a public letter, was disseminated through the Minnesota Chamber of Commerce, but we're talking about huge corporations. And they wrote this letter and they said, we're asking for calm, we're asking for things to calm down. But what I thought was fascinating was that these companies have PR departments, but this letter was accompanied by everyone's signature. The VP, the president, the CEO, 3 pages of signatures.
I saw a letter and they were asking for calm, but I didn't read the whole thing or realize that they actually signed it themselves. I was
They
just
signed it
thinking they were
themselves.
just wanting their people back to work.
No, right, exactly. Well, I'm sure they do. They don't really come out and sign things. I can't remember any time when I saw 30 or 40 CEOs signed something in public. If you add that to Bovino, you can see how there's real pressure being applied to this administration. An administration that doesn't really give up. They're actually paying attention. So that means there's a lot of pressure. It's a big deal.
Well, the NRA came out today and said, we want an investigation done on this, the National Rifle Association. Now, we got a taste of it last year, and the same thing happened. The propaganda starts to wear off. People start believing what they're seeing, and they came out with lies right away about what actually happened, and people see with their eyes what is happening. And yeah, it's correct. This event is a seminal this year after Renee Good's murder. He did nothing but try to help this woman up off the ground. The ferocity. Pisces also has to do with dispersal. They sprayed them both, mace or whatever.
It's military grade, some kind of really high level military grade spray that they're using.
Yeah, so this is hopefully a turning point. They're still going to be horrible to people, but hopefully not as brutal. We can get to, I don't know, I'm feeling like we don't need to get to the midterms before there'll be some change. What are you feeling?
I agree. We were reading that even the House could change speakership before the midterms. This energy has been brewing for a while. I mean, astrology knows what astrology is going to happen. You know what I mean? That's predictable in the future. You know that these planets are going to be doing these things. So I think that in those of us that read energy, we were reading this into the future, right? So I think you're right. I don't think we're going to have to wait for the midterms. But I also would say that Americans are some kind of mad, and I don't think an apology and firing Bovino is going to do it. I don't think that's going to make us stand down.
Yeah. Kristi Noem and her boyfriend, I forget what his name is, might be on their way out. It's been reported as well. Corey's Lewandowski.
Corey Lewandowski, her real boyfriend, actually.
So maybe we'll see. Something needs to change. Absolutely. What else are you feeling? This is a really intense, energetic week. We have the planet Mars and Pluto, which is like intense conflict coming together. I feel like that could be something where that regime may fall by the big transit, the Saturn Neptune. We've got this image of structures coming down, regimes falling, big changes happening. Are you feeling anything about Iran?
I am, but I feel like what I just heard my guide say was, I don't even want to say this out loud, but I feel like it's a kinder and gentler regime. You know what I mean? Like regime light. Like, okay, we're going to allow women to just wear headscarves, right? Maybe Muslim, the lightest version of whatever that type of religion would allow, which for them was amazing, right? I don't see them going back to 1970, like when they were wearing pencil skirts and going to school. But I do see major changes happening. I feel like the new regime is not democratic. It's a conciliatory energy to try to get things calm down again is what I feel. What do you feel about it?
I feel like that regime is going to fall. I haven't really thought about what the replacement will be. What I'm concerned about is if we're going to be involved in the change. I feel like there could be a potential for something to go sideways. All of this amplified intention and fighting, we're moving towards in April. It's Aries season, really intense this April, because Mars and Saturn are going to come together in Aries. Mars loves to be in Aries, and Mars is fast and like conflict. Saturn wants to hold things back or slow things down, but it doesn't function very well in Aries. It's really intense conflict when you bring these two forces together. Now, it can be used for positive, but
I don't think so. You could run the race really fast and maybe run it wrong, but instead you're going to run it fast and mess up a lot and get stopped and tripped and delayed. Yeah. So it's actually, I don't think it's great. I think it's interesting what Sally Rice Psychic says here, because I feel like my guides are saying similar, that Trump could be gone in March. When is the next eclipse?
February 17th, and this is a
February
very
7th.
intense eclipse. It's a solar eclipse in the sign of Aquarius, and it is conjunct the USA moon. Countries have natal charts just like people. The moon of the United States is 27 degrees of Aquarius. And the eclipse is right next door to that. So, knowing that things are happening that would really impact the people of America, and it's squaring Uranus, which brings disruption and unexpected events. You see eclipses coming in like a month to 6 weeks in advance. And I think this storm is part of this eclipse where people in the country are experiencing unexpected upheaval. And Aquarius has to do with technology and power outages. And with Pluto in this sign, it impacts masses of people. I'm preparing for a power outage or some kind of disruption of technology.
I think it's good for us all to prepare, even if it's got nothing to do with the grid. Right? It could have something to do with the grid.
That's what I'm worried about, the grid. Oh, there's a lot of feedback with it. Is your phone on?
It's the feedback. All of a sudden, I can't hear it. Is that better?
Yeah, that's better.
Yeah, I had just propped it up on my computer, so it's probably looping into the computer.
Yeah.
Okay. So the eclipse, what do you see for us? The moon. Let's talk about that. Do you see more Epstein files or more hidden things coming out?
Yeah, eclipses open up a 6 month cycle. And it's opposite the president's ascendant. So there's going to be something intense coming at him. So it very well could be things around the Epstein files. And the next day, the sun moves into Pisces. And then we're going to start having secrets come to life. And then we're going to have a lunar eclipse in Virgo. I keep getting like military refusing to do something, like them being told to do something and then saying, no, we're not doing this, because Saturn and Neptune come together on February. So we have February 17th, the eclipse. The sun moves into Pisces. Then February 20th, Saturn and Neptune come together in Aries, and Aries rules the military. And that could be.
So that's really sense.
No, we're not doing that. Not that it necessarily has to happen on that day, but it starts a new cycle, I'm wondering. And then when Mercury goes retrograde in the sign of Pisces, I think that's when a lot of stuff is going to come out about the Epstein stuff. Yeah. And maybe it won't take till the retrograde, but I think things are coming. Something really disturbing and twisted is coming that I got cat o' nine tails, like forbidden, taboo coming out about something. I don't know if it's Johnson or if it's the president or who, but something's coming. We're in Aquarius season, and there's so many Aquarius planets. Yeah.
Wow.
And there's something like, I thought Puffy's trial, Sean Combs' freak off, was going to be a much bigger thing. The things I was thinking are going to be
coming out with this. So it's interesting. Two things about what you said. For some reason, I'm of the camp, and I could be wrong, but I've always thought there's something in Ivanka's grave that is not a body. You saw those barriers. They were struggling. There were big men and they were struggling. And I'm thinking that woman had to weigh like 120 pounds, but she was cremated. She probably was about 50 pounds and they were struggling. So I feel like when you were talking, I got the hit that there could be more things coming out about her death, other people's deaths that could be connected to him, that could lead them to want to look into that grave. That's kind of how I feel like it could get there. And then with the military, I got this hit really crazy, but here we are. I got the same thing. I think the military is going to stand down. I think they've already said, we're not going to invade Greenland. You're crazy.
Oh, yeah.
And I think they've already stood down more than we could imagine. But here's what I got. Do you recall back when, at very beginning of his second reign of terror, there was a Black Hawk helicopter that lowered down on the top of an apartment building, and supposedly these guys rappelled down the line and went into the apartment building and kicked doors open. This was before ICE was a thing, really.
Chicago.
Yeah, in Chicago,
And
exactly.
they pulled people out of their homes, including babies, including American citizens, zip tied them, and all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Yes, and they got there from helicopters on the roof. So here's my hit that Dumpy is he can't get the military to do it. He's going to hire Black Rock or Blackwater or whoever they are. He's going to hire a paramilitary group that's going to do these things. And then what I saw was the generals standing in front of these microphones wearing fatigues. They're not wearing dress blues or dress uniforms. And they say, I can unequivocally say, as commander of the Marines, that it didn't happen. It wasn't me. And the next guy's like, I can say, as general of the Army, it didn't happen. And it's going to, all the branches are going to say, it wasn't us. So then the question remains, who was it? And this is how we get to treason. This is how we get to traitor. This is how we get to the military removing the entire cabinet. If they do that and get caught doing it, then that is absolutely grounds for treason. And I think there is a path. There's many potential timelines, but one timeline is that they do this and the military goes in and literally shuts it down.
That could be Saturn, Neptune, and Aries. I know several. I don't want to get my hopes up.
You were like, I was so happy for a minute. That's what I said in my latest video. I said, this is a silver lining, you guys. Because think about it. If a military action happens and the generals are calling the admirals and the admirals are calling the other general, like, was that you? No. Was that you? No. And they're like, oh, shit, we got a problem. We got a real big problem here. So, and Congress is literally inept. They're not going to do anything. So then you have the military going, it's on us. Like, we really got to do this. Like, we really got to do this as far as what you're saying astrologically as a potential.
It does have I mean, it's like it's huge upheaval, and it's opposite both. The thing that's really interesting about Vance and Trump, they're both Leo risings with a midheaven in Taurus. And this eclipse is in Aquarius. Aquarius is opposite Leo. Aquarius is the group, the organization. Leo is like the sovereign, special one kind of energy. And then Uranus, which is a disruptor, it's a huge disruptor, is in their 10th house. So it's very public things that are happening where it's unexpected upheaval. The outrage about what happened in Minnesota this weekend is Uranus squaring the president's Mars, how he takes action in his ascendant, what people are thinking about him. And some of his allies are now starting to come after, saying that this is not acceptable. And we are still 3 weeks out from this eclipse. So wow. This could be, I mean, I still, okay, I'll just say it. It's likely just a fantasy, so don't take it too seriously. But I'm still not convinced that Kamala is, her Saturn is being eclipsed, which Saturn rules like authority, and like there may be talk about what they did in 2024.
It makes sense, Celeste. Listen, this is the thing. Last year, me and some other psychics kept seeing this caretaker government. And we were like, what in the heck? It didn't make any sense. If the military has to take out this administration, then who's going to be president? Who? Right? Like how? We've never been here before. And this is astrological. We've never been here before. So really and truly, there's a potential timeline where she's back in the presidency or a caretaker, a coalition presidency. But Vance is not going to last. Trump has way more support than Vance does. So once he's gone, now let me ask you about this, because some astrologers, and I don't think I've ever asked you this, some astrologers say that you're born on an eclipse, you can go out on an eclipse. And wasn't he born on an eclipse?
Yes, yeah. The president was born.
Clovers, whatever you got. Get lucky rabbits, feet, whatever. Get it.
He was born at a lunar eclipse in Sagittarius. And so some dates that are he's really big dates for him are this February 17th. So that opens the cycle. That's the date that opens the cycle. But there's going to be a lunar, and that's a solar eclipse, a new moon. There's going to be a lunar eclipse on March 3rd, and it squares the ascendant of the United States. March 3rd, there's big stuff happening, and it may have to do with this worries me. Like, one of the things I'm most worried about is the economy. And someone says, Saturn, Neptune, there could be a big market upset. I'm calling it Black Friday #2. Saturn and Neptune come together every 36 years. Saturn is a planet of structures, Neptune dissolves them. Saturn has to do with institutions as well. When they met in 1989, several things happened. The USSR fell, the Berlin Wall came down. We kidnapped Noriega from Panama. There was the earthquake in San Francisco, which concerns me. And I've told you I'm a little concerned about that.
Yeah. No.
And there was a big market problems. There was a Black Friday in 1989 where there was a big market correction or market stuff. And Argentina had a lot of problems financially back in 1989. So there are all these events that we're seeing. This time it's Iran that's on the brink. And we got Maduro from Venezuela. We gave all this money to Argentina. All these things are rhyming with what happened back 36 years ago in 1999. Now, that was in Capricorn, but now we're in Aries. So there are different energies. Aries rules like fire. There's fires in Chile right now, I think.
A lot of fire.
Military. I'm concerned about if something's going to happen where there's a big problem that could have been preventable before. So, yeah, it's very concerning. I call Saturn Neptune, one of the things I call it in Aries, it's happening at the 0 degree of the zodiac, the first degree. So there's some new start. It's never happened in recorded history, these two at the first degree of this sign. And I call it like Little House on the Prairie. So maybe everybody cuts off their streaming services and people are at home reading and different things.
Well, it could be that we do that, or it could be that we're forced to do that. It could be both, right? That's interesting. And I got to tell you guys, if y'all don't know this about Celeste, she's hella psychic. She means it. It's coming from somebody else. So I think it's very interesting, Little House on the Prairie. Isolated, independent. You got to just do it your own way. Yeah, interesting. Very interesting.
We'll see how that shows up. Professor Scott Galloway is recommending an economic strike where people cancel all their streaming aimed at tech.
It's coming. I saw it last year. I said, I'm seeing this thing where people lose their appetite for buying things. It's like you just don't want to. Buying things is our whole GDP here. Yeah. That is how our country survives. It's not even going to be like we're going to show somebody something. We simply don't want to do it anymore. I feel like it started during the pandemic when people were home and they learned how to make bread and they learned how to crochet. And they're like, you know what? That was really good. I really enjoyed that. And I think Little House on the Prairie, we want to go back to that. We want to go back to simpler times. And then it doesn't hurt that we're mad about CEOs and we're tired of giving them our money. We're tired of being exploited by them. So screw it. We don't need you. We'll sit in the backyard and learn how to whittle sticks. We don't even care anymore.
Everything's getting so expensive. It's also coming out of necessity for a lot of people. True. People are getting madder and madder about the government being so out of touch. There was some government person who was talking about how your parents may have 5 rental properties that they're using for their retirement. And people were saying, who are you talking about whose parents have 5 houses?
Somebody on Threads said everybody should buy some amount of silver. And we don't need a civil war. We need a revolution. I looked up how much that would cost. And it was $5,000. I was like, excuse me. But you're saying that we all got $5,000 to go buy some silver right now? And she was like, she basically come at me and said, if you're poor, you don't count for nothing. I'm like, I'm not poor. Who's got $5,000 wow, these people are out of touch. You
Oh
know?
yeah, it was Besset. He's a piece of work. Him and that Lutnick.
Yeah,
That Lutnick is something.
he is.
It's the worst.
I mean, they found the worst. So they just looked under every rock until they found them all, and then they brought them to Washington.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, Kristen had a great point. Thinking that GDP as a measure of success is a Saturn construct meeting Neptune. And in the US chart, Saturn rules our house of resources, our second house. And so when Saturn meets Neptune, something's going to become clear about the weakness, finances, or the economy, or like the stealing this money and sending it off to
For
private banks,
real.
like taking money from
Germany.
Venezuela and putting it into a private account? What the hell are you
Like
talking about?
Qatar or so in the Middle East. This is like a criminal unimaginable. So I'm glad the balloon is going to pop. As you say, we're going to be able to see reality. I agree with you about the finances, but I think that I could be wrong, but I feel like the guides call it Enron. They won't back down. Like this is a Ponzi scheme. The whole thing is going to go kapow. But I feel like we can stumble through it. You know what I'm really worried about? I'm worried about next year because I feel like the automakers are going to get, I'm not even sure what's going to happen. Canada is making a deal with China to bring over these cars, and their cars are pretty freaking amazing and cheaper. I think our auto industry is going to get killed. I think next year is going to be even worse economically.
Oh, yeah. We're in very difficult times. This administration came in with these tariffs, starting a trade war, destroying relationships. The citizens of countries, they see America and they put it back on the shelf. And this is
For
impacting
real, right?
all of us in terms of businesses, potentially rejection of America.
But
Absolutely.
having said that, Celeste, I have to say that if you divest yourself from the institutions like Joyanne Reed did, like Don Lemon
Yeah.
did, it's the same for us. If you protect yourself, get a side hustle, figure out what you can offer the world, go on YouTube, consult, do whatever you can, because I don't know how really these corporations are going to survive. Last year, the guides kept saying dissolution. Well, guess what? That's this year with the dissolving of all these systems and institutions. So I feel like even though that's happening, if you stay on the ship, the Titanic, it's going to sink. But I think if you can jump off and make your own way, you can be okay, even in this economy. I really think so.
Oh yeah, and people will thrive and come up with all sorts of things.
Innovations.
Yeah. And I've been hearing that people will be bartering or trading more. Yeah, I haven't gotten that myself, but I know people are saying that. Yeah. My neighbor is moving out and they just opened their home and said, you could come and you want. That energy is out there with all this Aquarius energy. There haven't been this many planets in Aquarius since the 1960s. That energy of people coming together, like what is happening in Minnesota is incredible and so inspiring. These people just came together for neighbors who were too scared to leave their house. People were delivering food to them. I mean, these people are standing, they've got to be Times People of the Year, the people of Minnesota, in negative degree weather,
Negative.
standing up for the rights of people, their neighbors, themselves. It is so inspiring. It's so hard for these people what they're going through, but they are so inspiring. Courage is contagious.
Yeah, that's true.
And I can't believe the man who was killed this weekend.
Pretty.
Yeah.
Pretty.
Somebody put on a sign, pretty good. The fact that their names are meaningful, the fact he was such a compassion, he was a Neptune and Pisces type person, a nurse for the VA. So think about all the soldiers or people who served in the military, seeing someone who had dedicated his life to helping make their lives better. And there was a video of him talking about the work, and you could just feel his goodness, his compassion, and his care. He was helping a woman up from the street. He is definitely a mythic hero type. And as Neptune went into Aries. The compassionate energy of Neptune in Aries, he helped people in the military. This was a big wake up call for people who weren't paying attention.
They're projecting his picture in Times Square. Did you see that?
No, I didn't.
On one of those skyscrapers. Yeah, I mean, they crossed a line. They've crossed too many lines, maybe. I don't know. Who knows? Or maybe astrologically, we're ready to do something or all the above. But I think these are big cracks. These are big cracks.
And the final blow may be coming with that eclipse that's coming up. There's something about a limousine, something done in the back of a limousine that keeps coming to me. And I got Alaska pipeline. Whatever happened between the president and Putin in the back of that limousine, and then they went in Alaska to a meeting, and it was reported that the people in the administration who were there, their faces were like ashen or something. I don't know if there's going to be a whistleblower or something, but something big is coming in terms of an information leak that's very disturbing. It may be an image. I don't know.
And the eclipse is February 17th?
Yes.
But the energy is active now and after.
February 3rd, Uranus goes direct. And that's going to be a big day where something big is coming. Uranus is upheaval, disruption, a shock. It awakens. It could be something obscene, like what I was saying with Johnson, something coming out about him as well. I don't know. I feel like this is not going away. It's going to be hard, but I think it'll be better in the long run for people. We'll see.
It is hard. Now we're going through a really dark.
Really hard.
Right now is a really, really dark time, but it's accelerating. It's that Aries acceleration. Like we're going to see it, and then by the time it happens, another thing will happen. It's propelling us out. If you think about it like that, everything that happens actually propels us towards an end point of this being done.
When Jupiter goes into Leo, there can be some lighter energy. That's not till summer, but we'll see what happens. It's just tough next couple of years, but Jupiter and Venus are always doing something. There's always the ability to have joy, perform abundance in some ways. It's not always material.
We have to remember to live, right? To not give in to the dark, because there's going to be reasons to live. There's going to be reasons to celebrate.
The blood moon is March 3rd. March 10th is another date where Jupiter goes direct. That could be a big date. February 17th. Sandra saying the tectonic plates shifting. So the energy of this eclipse is very intense. It has an earthquake quality, and Uranus rules earthquakes. So I would recommend people who live in earthquake zones to think about what your plan is if anything happens ahead of time. Where are your flashlights? Where are all your stuff? Hopefully we won't be dealing with it, but I'm in the Bay Area, so it could,
I think the odds are high that something's going to happen, but I also think that California has done a great job of making sure that the building infrastructure is better. Yeah. I feel like there could be damage for sure, but looking at the potential and then seeing the actual result of it, it could have been so much worse, right? I kind of feel like you're going to have more fires. I feel like the whole country is going to have more fires. I feel like we're going to have a drought. I think it's going to be super hot this summer, like just merciless hot. There could be some other earthquake kind of situations, volcanoes, tsunamis, but I think maybe looking back on 26, it might be the fires.
Yes. The Saturn and Neptune are in Aries, will be in Aries, a fire sign. And then Jupiter goes into Leo, a fire sign. That's a lot of energy of fire, especially July 26th. That could be a time when there's real problems, especially in North America. Saturn in the sky will be opposite our natal Saturn, and the country's having a Saturn opposition. Saturn brings delays, restrictions, boundaries. It's tough energy. And it'll be going through our fourth house of land. So you've got it with the land having issues with fire.
Yeah. And so that's the thing about the Mississippi River Plate. I saw that a few years ago, art therapy. I saw that happening a few years ago. So I think it's potential that there's a pretty big earthquake east of the Mississippi.
Yeah.
And they're not prepared. They don't have earthquake codes the way California does. So that would be pretty devastating if that happened, I think.
Yeah. It really does feel like the earth is just changing and we just,
We have to prepare as much as we can. That's the key. Listen to your intuition, right? Like dial into your intuition. If your intuition is like, ooh, I don't feel like I should take that trip, or ooh, I feel like I should stay home. Just listen to it.
Yeah. The more we can get grounded and centered. And what are some of the tools you use knowing we're living in a crazy time of upheaval where life just is not like it used to be? So what are some of the things you do to help yourself?
I will say that I'm a very sensitive person, so this stuff affects me deeply. The energy feels heavy or whatever. I can tell you, I'm with you. Even though I'm a professional at this, I'm at the mercy of the energy. So what I have to do is there's a couple of things. I mean, and there's plenty of books and things you can read on being an empath. Allow yourself, like I think if you're super sad and you're super worried, to tell yourself to snap out of it is probably not going to work, right? So I think the thing to do is what would make me feel better right now? So instead, I think the common thing is that you push on the owie to see if it still hurts. How many times do we do that? Like, oh, yeah, it still hurts. That's what we do when we're experiencing an overload. We go to social media and we doom scroll. We're pushing on the owie. So the first thing to do is to recognize, okay, I'm overwhelmed, I'm sad, I'm exhausted. Reading social media is not going to help you. So if you can put down your phone and then walk away and then say, what would make me feel better? Now what you're doing is you're honoring your body instead of saying, I should go for a walk. Forget that. That's just more pressure for you. So what would make you feel better? Try that. If taking a nap, taking a walk, doing a puzzle, listening to music, if you do one of those things and it doesn't work, stop it. So that's another thing. We're like, oh, well, usually music makes me feel better, but it's not. I'm so upset that music don't do that. Just say, okay, that's not working for me today. Let me try something else. The more gentle you are with yourself, you have to be your own cheerleader. If you do this, you can turn it around. I was like, woman out, I'm out, psychic down. I had to do some things myself to allow myself to experience that, but not fall into the rabbit hole, and also take care of myself. Luckily, the astrology changed, but also I did enough self-care to get myself out of it.
I like that. That is a great idea. And I didn't realize I was doing, but I was setting up your natal moon. If you know your moon sign, that could help you with managing the energy. I have a course, The Proper Care and Feeding of the Moon. It's open now, so you can join if you want, where you'll learn all about your moon sign. But I'm an Aries moon. So when I get all frazzled and this energy has been all chaotic, I've had a few where my anxiety is really high. I can go for a walk. That helps. I look at this as an adventure. The greatest story ever told because my moon talks to my Gemini planets. With all this Aquarius energy, we're watching people rise up to combat fascism as hard as it is. It's exciting to watch myself and how I cope with this stuff. Everybody's learning that they're stronger than they realize. I feel like that's one of the things I've felt with this.
Well, you were talking about Minneapolis, about the stories happening there, and that gives you hope, right? So I think that's fantastic. So for a Capricorn moon, I work. My spirit guides are like, go work. Just go sit down and create. And I'm also very creative. So they're like, do some fun work, not drudgery, but what is work that would make you feel excited to do and make you feel good to complete? Does that make sense for my moon?
Absolutely. Working as a Capricorn moon because you have core need to be useful. And so
I'm a Virgo, right?
You're a Virgo. So doing that work, you can get in the zone. I do sometimes too. My moon is in my 10th house, which is the work house.
It's fascinating that if you know your moon, this is like a shortcut. I didn't know that until Celeste. Celeste is like, girl, work. I'm like, oh, okay. It's really saved my sanity. Because if you think about it, your mind says, don't go work. It's counterintuitive. So if you know your moon, you can actually use it to get through this time.
Yeah. So light heals. Do you work when you feel like, does it help you? Light heals has a Capricorn moon. Yeah. And Sandra has a Taurus moon. So what do you do to help you? Getting out in nature, running your feet through the grass can be great for a Taurus moon.
But what
Gardening,
about like shopping?
cooking. Yeah. Oh, yes.
Shopping or
Shopping, eating.
eating? Hey.
I'm a Taurus sun. I have to combat
That comfort food.
Yes, and Sandra said we're on a hero's journey. It feels like a hero's journey. We each are on a hero's journey in some way, whether it's to get through this time, whether it's just managing our emotions, whether it's like figuring out how we're going to put food on the table. Like there is this hero's journey. And Mediterranean's a Scorpio moon, recognizing the deep transformation happening. Absolutely. And yeah, being able to,
Food go soak.
yeah.
I'm a Cancer rising, and I'm telling you, if I could operate from the tub, if I could just do all my work from the tub, I've been tempted to just put a board across it and put my computer on it. That's so funny.
So Eva, Gem Astrology does Aquarius moon does rabbit holing, going down rabbit holes,
Whatever works,
investigating.
right?
I love that.
This is like your primary coping mechanism, right?
Yes, your moon rules your emotional body, what you need to feel safe. So Edible Diva, you can, if you know your birth time, you go to astroseek.com is a great website that will, you put in your birth information, it'll tell you your moon sign. And yeah, it'll give you a little bit about it. If you want to go deeper, you can go to my website, astrologybyceleste.com. My course is happening now.
And how much is your course?
Oh, it's $97, and you get hours of video about your moon, the sign, the house, the aspects it makes, and your natal moon phase. And then there are 2 lives where for an hour and a half we'll be together. And I'll do hot takes on people's moons who or charts who want them. Yeah. And talk about what it means. How can we keep ourselves safe? How can we keep ourselves grounded? How do we get through this time energetically? Oh, so you got in the backyard light heels with a Capricorn moon. Yeah, that makes sense too. And Maloney's Gemini moon has been doing a top 100 American Film Institute movie watch. Gemini, yes, that's a great thing to do. Like learning new things, taking in information, being entertained by watching movies. Art therapy, Pisces moon, go soak, get into water. Absolutely. Pisces moon, music, water, doing something creative. Yeah. So it's great. People know their moons here. That's good.
I think they might even just be doing it energetically. They may not know
Yeah.
that what their moon, they're just following the energy of what they want. And it, you know, that's the thing about it, right? Now you got more knowledge and you can actually dive into it. It looks like Sally Rice Psychic just made an appointment with you. I'm telling you, Celeste is amazing, guys. Get on her books. I've had many readings with her and she's just amazing.
Thank you, Susan. I am in love. My latest thing is English Bulldogs. Watching them do their thing. There's a couple I'm following on here. They're not doing a damn thing. I watched this dog go to the vet the other day, and I was just watched that same video a couple of times because it was so cute.
Aww. Well, we're also, you know, dogless right now.
Yes. Yeah. My little Debo has gone to doggy heaven, so it's nice.
You're getting your fix online.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I get my fix online. Yeah. Walking with a foot of snow. Oh my God.
A whole different type of walking.
Yes, that is difficult.
Cancer moon watching Ab Fab.
Ab fab. That is a great comedy. Yeah, that is a great thing to do to like lift your spirits, to get out of the heaviness. But I think people's moods are going to kind of just naturally lift up with Neptune out of the last degree of Pisces. Now, until February 13th, this will be interesting to see how this shows up. I don't like it. I could just feel myself. I don't like the energy where Saturn is by itself in Pisces. This is troubled waters kind of energy.
When is that again?
Now until February 13th,
Okay.
Saturn is alone in Pisces as it finishes up this transit that started in 2023. So take good care of your feet is one thing to do. This can be difficulties with water. If anything's leaking in your home, get it fixed right away if you can.
Troubled waters. You said that word, troubled waters. Is there a song called Troubled Waters or something?
There's a bridge over troubled waters.
Bridge over troubled waters, right?
Saturn's a bridge. Saturn's like a structure, and Pisces is the water, and Saturn like it's difficulties. Saturn takes away from life. Jupiter adds to life. We need Saturn, like our bones, to give us support. But I don't like something about the energy, especially in Iran, where they're so brutal towards the people that they'll overcome. So yeah, just take care of yourselves as much as you can to stay grounded, especially tomorrow. Watch out. There's energy for people to get really combative. Like that person was giving you trouble about saying, hey, not everyone has 5,000 around for buying silver.
You're buying it at the top. It's not like, hey, this is a really good deal. Get all your money out and buy it. You're buying it at the top.
Inevitable Diva, you can put in your birth date, use noon, and if the moon is between 6 and 24 degrees, that tells you your moon sign. If it's earlier, I'd have to talk to you about your life experiences.
Yeah, thank you so much, Celeste. This was so much fun. I always love coming on Instagram with you. I forgot that I needed my phone and not my laptop.
I don't know why they won't let you get on the computer, but you know, they'd like a lot of rules, a lot of structure, what have you. So tell everybody where they can find you and what you offer, because you have some amazing offerings.
Oh, that's so sweet. What do want to know? What's the name of the site to find the moon? AstroSeek?
Yeah, astro-seek.com. That's my favorite for just looking up your
astro-seek, SEEK.com.
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can Google it, but you know, there are others, but this is Celeste's favorite. I would go with that one. Yeah, so I'm Susan Lynn, Spirit Navigator. You can find me on Threads. You can find me on YouTube. You can find me on Instagram. I have some classes and things, but I also have an online community. I have a free online community. What is the astrology with social media? That's a conversation. I don't know if you've done a video on that, but we need to have one because I feel like it's dicey. So I'm just saying that TikTok, everything is kind of going sideways. I have literally a free online community with 5,000 people in it. You can go to my website, susanlynnmedium.com, and find people just like you, just like me, just like Celeste. They're hanging out, supporting each other. So yeah, you can find everything you need to know about me at susanlynnmedium.com.
Great. Thank you so much, Susan. Thank you, everybody, for joining and all the great discussion and the comments. We will get through this difficult time. The more we can spiritually help ourselves facing an unknown future, the better we'll be. Cherishing the simple pleasures, as says the Taurus. Yeah, the simple pleasures that we have. Yeah. And enjoying life. Don't let this man steal your joy. I said, I am not going to let him get me gaining a bunch of weight or stealing my joy.
Or being depressed, being sad. They're stealing our life, right? These are days that we are assigned on this planet. And we're giving them away to him. So let's not do it.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you so much. Have a great rest of the evening. Take good care.
You too. Thanks, everybody. Thank you, Celeste.
Oh, thanks, Susan. Bye.